Well, good afternoon and welcome to the 5-Star Podcast. As ever, we talk all things Rangers in the company of a couple of icons, Ian Durrant and Barry Ferguson. What happened last week? Well, we got a result against the team from the Czech Republic. I think if the goal had gone in from Gassama to make it 2-0 rather than 1-0, guys, it might have been a wee bit more comfortable before we head to the Czech Republic to take on Jablonec in this second leg. I felt at times we were good against Jablonec, and at others we reverted to type, where you could see that anxiety and a bit nervous and no one really expressing themselves either. First question to both boys is 1-0 enough, Ian?
Oh, need to be. You're always looking for that 2-goal now. It makes it a lot more comfortable. I didn't feel we were under severe pressure from the Czech team. I thought now we're comfortable without being comfortable, if you know what I mean. But now the 1-0, but we just never got that second goal. And you say Gassama had a great chance to make it 2-0.
Touch of the Peter Van Vossens there, wasn't it?
Well, I think now, I was more a bit disappointed in the ball. I thought he could have maybe rolled along the carpet a bit more, but it came up at a certain height. Could have took a touch. I think he probably could have, but he chose to take it first time, and that now hopefully that's not our outdoing. Now 2-0, always you need that sort of leeway. We know it's going to be difficult over there. They're always difficult away games, but I've seen enough in the first leg to think the Rangers can go through.
I didn't think we were particularly good in the first half, if I'm being honest with you. I thought we let them become comfy in the game. Second half a lot better, obviously get the goal, and then you think to yourself, right, Gassama's got to score that. It's more comfortable, and then I'm on the edge of my chair when Devlin gets sent off. I don't know what was going through his mind at that stage, but listen, the positives I took out the game was it was a win, it was a clean sheet, but we're going over there and we'll certainly need to be better, because every away game in Europe's always difficult, Tom. So all honesty, I didn't think they were great, but being respectful, they're okay. They've done pretty well in their league, and they've had a few good results this season, but we've got to be going over there and making sure we get a positive result, because I can't think of anything worse than Rangers not being in Europe up until Christmas. I know it's the conference, we want to be in Europa League, most importantly we want to be in the Champions League, but it still brings a bit of money into the club. So yeah, it's important we go there, get a result and make sure we progress.
2-2 for Nadiri. Not the prettiest of goals, but a striker in form will score from any part of his anatomy effectively. Does he get the nod ahead of anyone else in the squad to be the main focal point of the attack come Thursday again?
Well, it'll be interesting to see, but listen, I'll give him a bit of confidence getting that goal. Listen, I don't care how he scores it, as long as it hits the back of the net. That's the most important thing for a striker. So he's up and running now. Look, he's got obviously you've got Shankland, you've got Miovski, but if you're asking me my opinion, I think he'll go with the big man up top, because he does bring a physical presence.
Ian, would you agree with that one, that he's the man in form effectively?
It's the first time this season obviously the forwards have played 2 games in a row, and as you say, Dundee with 2 goals, so I can see him maybe being a bit tighter. Derek now maybe obviously Devlin out, another one in the middle of the park just to toughen it up. Again, we'll not know until Thursday again with the situation with Raskin, so that might be does Raskin play or does he not play, so that'd be another thing. But he seems to be settling on a back 4 now. Again, there's been transfer speculation about Fernandes, so there's a lot of ifs and buts come Thursday in terms of his formation or what sort of team he's going to play.
Does that restrict his planning?
Of course it does, because I think it's less than just over a week now to go.
Yep.
And I know they're trying to recruit players in, but now obviously we know the players are going to have to go, and if you're going to be losing players like now Raskin and Fernandes, you need to now replace them with quality, so in a short space of time. So there'll be a lot of thinking about what he's going to have at his disposal and what he can use.
Yeah, the window's open till the 3rd of September. If it goes to the wire, getting replacements becomes a real challenge.
Welcome to your new favourite marketing agency,
Bluefield Marketing.
We're ready when you are.
Let's have a look at the 11 players signed so far this summer, and we'll have a quick report card. Marks out of 10, and you know we can be critical, we can be honest.
There's under a bit of
pressure here.
I don't mind
and of course that can change. We might review this again in another 3 months' time, and somebody that's sitting with a 5 could be a 10 by then, because it's taken them a bit longer to come to terms with the demands of being a Ranger. So first off, probably the hardest one of them all so far, of the 11 new signings, is how would you rate the contribution from 1 to 10 for Lawrence Shanklin, Barry?
Listen, I like Lawrence Shanklin. I think he's a very good signing. I just feel for him, I don't think he's getting the service that he really needs, because he's a penalty box striker. That's what he does. He puts the ball in the back of the net. I think if you ask Lawrence himself, he knows that he's got to do better. But I think he will. See, once the window shuts and we get more forward thinking players, difference makers in the final third, I think that will bring his game on. 5? I like Lawrence. I've got a soft spot for him, so I'll say 6.
6. He was you one. Ian, Lawrence Shanklin.
Yeah, I think I'm giving the benefit of the doubt as well. I think now they can back off the World Cup and not a lot of time recovery. I think at 2.5 weeks, maybe less than that, and then he's back in again. He knows he's got to do better. He's carrying the mantle of being the club captain. And I'm like Barry. I think he'll come good. I just think now that there's a lot of players even down south that are having the sort of World Cup hangover in times that now they've not hit the ground running. But as Barry said, Lawrence needs supply. Now we need to get balls into the box, make sure Lawrence is linking up play. And I don't think he's had a lot of supply, but I think Lawrence can do a lot better. I'll go with Barry 5, but there is room for improvement. I'm sure he will improve.
Barry went 6. Do you want to go 6?
I'll go 5.
5.
I think now, just because if he's a 6 or 7 or 8 or 9, he'll be playing just now. I don't know if he's carrying a knock or if there's been a wee room he's got a slight ankle knock. So there's a lot of things, but once he's up and running, he'll be getting goals for Rangers.
Ian, sticking with you for the moment, what's the story, Ross McCrory?
He's come in, and I think now he's signed under to enhance the squad. And he's played at several positions. He's played at right back. He's played at left back. And when you're that sort of player, I like play. You like players that can come in and play a couple of positions. Ross seems to be one of these players that can play now, as I say, full back, centre half, going into midfield if required. And I think Ross will be looking at himself and knowing he can do a lot better. But what Ross would basically sign was to make the squad stronger. I didn't think it was going to be an automatic start, but the players we had at disposal. But if he's asked to come in and do a job, he'll do the job.
Out of 10?
5 again.
5 out of 10, Ross McCrory. Barry, what's your thoughts on the way Ross is going about his job?
I can see the reason, like Durrant, I can see the reasons why Derek went for him. He's worked with him before. You obviously trust him, but the good thing about Ross McCrory is he can play various positions. He can play both full backs. He can play centre back. He can play central midfield.
And he knows the league.
Yep, and he knows the club because he came through. He came through the academy system, and I think he's one of the players where I don't think he will be a first choice. But if there's injuries, suspensions, loss of form, you can always rely on him to come in and do a real good job for you. So I'll go a 5.
It's not something you probably faced in your career where you weren't a kind of first pick, but can Ross use that, and probably aware of the fact before he signed that he wasn't guaranteed a jersey, can he use that for motivation to the two of you?
You know where you're getting, Ross, you'll get 100% all the time, and as Barry said, when required he'll step up. If he's asked to play positions, Derek knows, as I said, he's worked with him. I had him as a kid.
Yep.
If he asked me to play anywhere and he's Rangers daft, he would just do it. But he knows the pitfalls of being at Rangers. Now, you need to be on your game all the time. You can have a bad game and make sure other people round about you, but at the present moment we're not getting that collectively, in terms of now we're not getting 8 or 9 playing well and now carrying 2. We seem to be carrying 5 and now maybe 6 struggling. And once we get it going, it's been so hard for Derek now. For it being credible now, but he's brought in now 11 players and trying to get a team together in a short space of time, and he'll know now the results have not been great, but they've got to do better, and now this is our ideal opportunity, albeit the hard games coming up now. We need to get to the break unbeaten. Then we can go and regroup again, and that's the end of the transfer window. Now you can settle your squad because that's where you know you've got then.
The motto is ready, and I think Ross.
What you'll get for Ross McCrory is, as Durrant just mentioned, you'll get 100%, and he'll get everything he's got. That's all you can ask of a football player.
Yep. Fair play. The next one, not so easy to mark. Ben Godfrey picked up an injury at Tannadice. We haven't seen him since, but he's in the squad for the return trip to the Czech Republic.
Came with a big reputation now, obviously. England player, been in Italy. Was a wee bit injury prone in Italy, and then it's just come back. The first game against Durrant, he does his hamstring. So
I think in pre-season he looked the part.
He did. He played well there. The games I've seen against obviously St Etienne, I thought he played well that night against. They were very good, St Etienne. But again, he'll be required. Now, as I said, we don't know the situations, the ingoings and outgoings. So the quicker you can get your squad bolstered with the fitness of now Godfrey, the better. So just now, I'll stick with a 5 with him because we've not seen it, but we know he's got the great potential to be a really
He'll
good
be
player.
keen to.
Of course,
I've
seen him. I met him in the game in the fan zone a couple of weeks ago, and he was just champing a bit.
He loves his fan zone, doesn't he?
And
3 pint.
brilliant. And
3-pinter.
And he knows.
Not a 3-pointer.
He knows the
size.
size.
It was 3-pointer.
The size of the club, and he just wanted to do it, and he feels as though now he's letting himself do, letting the fans do, because he got injured so early. But again, as he said, he's in the squad for Thursday, so that will give us another option.
Hopefully an option.
Another option. Derek Goy can maybe now. I know he's done a 3 now and again now, but he prefers a 4. But he can change that. As I said, I think we'll not be as gung ho up front, but now the 3 I think will be bit more solid in the middle of the park come Thursday.
Yeah, it'd be good to have Godfrey available.
I think he'll be a big player for Rangers. I like him, albeit good pre-season. Obviously pulled up against Dundee United. I spoke to him actually at the Hibs game, and I was just asking him what you think about the club, and he was absolute buzzing to be here. So I liked that bit about him. He knew Rangers was a big club, but he didn't understand until he came in and he actually seen what it's like.
The day-to-day.
So I seen that right bit of excitement. He's played at a high level. He's got all the attributes you would want in a centre back, and I think once you get him fully fit, he'll be a big player for Rangers.
Yeah, it's one to watch. And of course, as we take note of your scores, we'll review them again in a few weeks' time. The next
give
one,
him a 6.
Give him a 6. Yeah.
Aye.
The next one, I get the impression, to a degree, he's playing within himself a wee bit. He's not expressed himself the way we know he probably can.
I know what you're talking about.
Dan Neil.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think there's more to come from Dan. I seen him a lot in the Championship season where Sunderland went up, and he was their main man. I know they had a lot of good players. I just think again it's a case of he's taking a bit of time to settle, albeit Sunderland is a big club, but it's nowhere near the size of Rangers, so he's just taking a bit of time to settle in, get used to the surroundings. And I think in time, once he does settle, you'll see there is a really good player in there. But I need to see more. I just think, as I said, at times I see him taking the easy option. He's playing within himself, but again, with the team no firing on all cylinders, it does do a wee bit to your confidence. So I want to see more for Daniel, because I know there's more in him. He
hasn't had the easiest of introductions to midfield because we've had no consistency of selection.
No, it's been a lot of change in the middle of the pitch. I just think Derek's trying to find the right trio that's going to work for him. Because when I look at the midfield area, there's a lot of good players there.
Yep.
It's just getting the right mix, and I think Derek's still trying to find that right mix. But yep, I want to see more for Daniel because I know there's more in him.
Stick with a 6 for the moment.
No, I'll go a 5.
5 for Daniel. Ian,
again,
it's an area you excelled in yourself.
Yeah, you touched on it. Now he's not had the level of consistency. Obviously now not getting picked week in and week out, and not getting that level of game time. But I'm with Barry. I've seen a few of his games from down south, and there's a player in there. I'll be using him in the right position, because when I seen him, he was a box to box player. He got about the park. Now in a couple of games we've sat him as a sitter, which I don't think suits him. But again, if you're required to play that position, if you're asked to play that position, then you go and do it. But again, he'll know he's got to. Like everybody, I think we'd love to sit here now, wax lyricals about them all, but we know now they need to do better, and he'll know, and within himself and the level he can get at. And I'll go with a 5. I think now Dan knows playing in now the leagues he's played in, with the teams he's played in, but I mean, it's different. It's a different one with Rangers, where you need to win all the time. Now without being disrespectful, you can get away with a couple of defeats down south. We can't up here, and especially at the moment when we're changing the team, and we're having to change the team to try and get results.
I think we're being very respectful here to the players that's joined the club in the summer. It's quite interesting to get that candid conversation about, more's expected.
Aye.
And I suspect they know that themselves. The next lad, red carded in our last European outing, was a bit of stupidity. He does like it physical. Was he trying too hard? And of course I'm talking Cammy Devlin.
Yep, I don't know what was going through his head, if I'm being honest with you. It's a straight red card. But look, I look at it in terms of if you're getting Cammy Devlin a free transfer, you would always take that opportunity. I think certain games would suit him better when you're travelling away from home and maybe it's going to be a real battle and a real fight. I think that's what really suits him because he's a feisty character.
Been in 2 World Cups.
I know, but I seen a lot of Hearts last year, watched him quite a bit, and he was outstanding for Hearts last year. But again, it's different. He's coming to a place where he's probably never had the pressures and the expectations. So again, it's going to take a player that's not been used to it a bit of time to get used to the surroundings that he's in. But I just thought it was a no-brainer if you're getting him a free transfer. I mean, if he had a year or 2 left in his contract, you would have to pay a decent fee for him. So I can understand totally why the manager signed him.
Derek knows him inside out. Obviously he knows what buttons to press, and you have to give confidence to Derek that he'll get that out of his player.
Well, he played a big part in what Hearts were all about last year in terms of his energy, getting about the park, getting people going. We've seen me flashes of it. I thought against St Etienne when he came on as a sub, he was absolutely outstanding. We've seen me bits and bobs in games, but again, he's a wee rush of blood to the head. And maybe that thing now just maybe sums up what's happening at the club just now. Everybody's trying too hard, as you say, and he costs us now because there's still a wee bit of time to go, as Barry said in the game. When we're down to 10 men, and the last thing you want is now lose a goal.
He brings that bit of energy and zip.
It's that, but sometimes he's got to have a bit of calmness as well.
Yeah.
Because we need that now. Because everybody we all love his energy levels, but sometimes you've just got to go right here, steady the ship, and see the game. But again, he'll be back again. And as Barry said, when you're getting a calibre player like that for a free, you bite your hand off.
5s all round.
Yeah.
Fair play. The next one got his first clean sheet against Jablonec. Ivar Pandur settled in nicely. He's not flash by any stretch of the imagination, reads the game well, and he'll benefit from that first clean sheet, Barry, surely.
Yeah, that's what keepers, they take confidence from clean sheets, no doubt about it. I like what I've seen of him so far. Listen, he's going to learn so much with who's coaching him, Alan McGregor. So I think you'll see, as time goes on, you'll see him improve.
Penalty save against St Mirren as well, we shouldn't forget.
I like what I've seen. I like my goalkeepers, to be honest. Giants, he's not the biggest, but technically he looks really good. He looks if he can handle the ball at his feet, which I know I want my goalkeeper to use his hands. I want to judge him on how he saves shots or his reactions. But so far, what I've seen, I like. But again, he's similar to quite a few of them. I think there's still a bit of improvement to come. And as I said to you, he's learning off one of the best in Alan McGregor.
Do you notice, Ian, his communication skills with his back four?
Yeah, he's excellent. And again, he's unfortunate now the amount of injuries we've had in the back four and a lot and chopping and changing it now all over the team right now. And the main thing when you're a new keeper coming to the club, you want a settled back four so you get that understanding. So I think he's been a success for me. I think now there is things he'll improve on, but sure Griggsy, I'll be watching with him, working with him. But again, he's done well. He's done okay since he's come in.
Mark him out of 10.
I'd give him a 7.
Barry?
Aye, I would have
go
6, 7. Yep, he is one of the ones that has shown that he's got a wee bit about him.
And they're never present, so yeah.
Yep, and as you said, the first clean sheet's important for a goalkeeper in a defence.
Yep.
And that's the positive that I took out of last Thursday.
Here's the next one. This is going to be quite interesting because you're marking what you've seen so far, not the potential. If we were marking on potential, it'd be a really high score, I suggest. And of course, we're talking Dragicevic, and that goal against St Mirren just took your breath away. But his appetite for it, the way he gets about the park at such a tender age, it really excites for the future, Barry.
Yep, and I think he's a work in progress. I think he's similar to Pandora, what we were saying. I think he's going to be getting better and better the more he plays. You can see signs that there's a real good midfielder in there. I can see the reason why they went to try and get him. And bearing in mind his age as well, Tom. He's young, he's 20 years of age, and already he's captained his previous club. So that tells me that he's got leadership qualities. I've seen signs of him where he can play the holding midfield role, he can play that forward one as well. He's got a goal in him, you've seen his strike against St Mirren. So yeah, I like what I've seen so far. Not seen enough of him, but
he's the type of player you would like to work in the training ground with.
Aye, I see the potential in him, that he could be a right good midfielder for Rangers.
Ian, would you like to sit down on a 1-to-1 and talk about the responsibilities of a midfield gig?
His English is excellent. You see the way he conducts himself in terms of when he's doing the press and that. But again, I'd love to have seen more of him. He's a project I'm excited about. I'm not a big fan of now we've got a project coming up, but he's one, as Barry highlighted there now. He's in Zagreb, he's captain now, a team which now are very well supported and very volatile. So he knows the boundaries there, but he's the one I just want to see get more game time. I think the more game time and the understanding. Now, as I said, it's probably the worst week coming up now with the transfer window, because you obviously the outgoings and as I said the incomings, and just try to get that settled team. But he's one I look forward to seeing, and he's going to get better and better for Glasgow Rangers.
Marks out of 10 for the report card. I'll take a half.
He's a 6.
6, I would
just
go
a
6.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just because he's
but
not a lot of game time.
I want more. Yeah. But it's good to be like that. But listen, potentially,
so challenging him.
You're dealing with ex-captain playing now the captain of Glasgow in the middle of the park. His demands are they should be.
I agree with Durrant. People say the word project. I don't really like that. Rangers is not a project, but I can see totally why they've signed him. You can see he's got really good attributes, and I think, honestly, watching him, I think he will get better and better. So he's potentially an 8/9.
So for the moment, he's
not played enough.
Yeah,
it's just like a game time, but you can see now what he's got, and I love. I'm sure Barry. I love midfielders popping in with goals. I think that's a big thing.
Even to buy that to yourself.
I know, but there is now, because when you're saying it now, we've got Nadiri, we've got Miovski, you've got Lawrence, and improving goal scorers. But I like seeing the midfielders
need to be pulled through.
Yeah, of course, because it helps. Because then
100%.
that gives them a relation now with the fans. And that when you're seeing you're getting a good midfield of scoring goals, and then the one he's got so far, could be goal of the season so far.
The next one probably raised an eyebrow or two when he signed. He'd been to the World Cup with South Africa. No one knew much about him. We were all a wee bit concerned that maybe he wasn't suited to the Scottish game, thinking he'd be a bit tippy-tappy. He's slotted in as a Rangers centre back as if he was born to it. McHanya.
Yeah, I like him. I do. What I've seen, really like him. Physical. Doesn't mind the dirty side of the game. Up against a centre forward, he's quick across the ground. I like the fact that when he drives out with the ball, he doesn't take too many chances, which I like as a defender. So you're always worried with MLS. When I watch MLS, it's dead. It's slow and pedestrian at times, so you're a bit worried with somebody coming into the Scottish game. But I tell you what, he's took it like a duck to water. I think he's been one of the big positives for us in this short period of time he's been in. Again, he's one that's going to improve.
He's hit the ground running, Ian.
Yep, and Barry's spot on with everything he said there. You couldn't have asked for any more. And I'm like Barry. I love him, the way he defends. And he's quite vocal as well in terms of organising, and that's a great thing. But again, he's come back off the World Cup, and as Barry said, came from America, and he's been great. He's been probably the standout signings for Derek now in the short space of time when he's come in. And it can't be easy playing with Big Fernandez at times, but he seems to have steadied the ship a bit. The big one's having a wee bit of a rocky time just now, and but he's come in and done great. You can see now
he's got a pass as well.
He just looks as though he loves being about. When you see him now, obviously we're doing before the games, we're doing the corporate. He's got a bit of a swagger about him now. You're going about the stadium that, so he's enjoying life just doing that. Long may that continue.
Well, if he does half as well as Johnny Hubbard, who came from South Africa, he would be
a rhino.
Yeah, something special as a Ranger. Marks out of 10, Barry.
7/8.
7.5.
Oh, there you go. Yes, yeah.
Fair play, 7.5, one to watch. Next one, Yokota. Obviously a talent, a maverick, as wingers generally are. Derek McInnes said he was gubbed recently after a game, or an hour on the clock into a game. Is he going to have to bulk up a wee bit for the Scottish demands come the change of weather?
I don't think you can actually bulk him up, but he'll know he's trying to get understandings again now. We keep talking about now players being in and out, and he seems to be playing, but he's playing behind Ross, he's playing behind Sterling, you know what I mean? So he's trying to break up relationships, but he looks so when he's in the final third, he's got a wee trick, and I'm sure once he gets it together, of course he'll be looking at the demands of the physicality of playing, and as you say, come the winter time. But now the pitches are catered so well now, Tommy, so see when you come winter time, the pitches are like bowling green still, so it will just be probably the cold weather in Glasgow, or the damp as we call it, but he looks as though he could do something. He looks so now, as you say, that bit of maverick, that wee bit of game changer, game winner in the final third, and I just like to now get more game time and play and stop getting gubbed all the time. Stand up and play, as they say. But he looks so he's going to be a good one.
Is he a type of player that can't be easy to coach, Barry?
No, I think they're going to use the word maverick. I think that's what he is. He's one of the guys you just need to let off a leash and go and do what he's going to do. And I like him. Molly, what he is he going to last a game? But again, that's just to the rigours of playing at Rangers. And a lot it's no physically, a lot it's mental as well. So he'll take a bit of time. I like what I've seen. He's definitely got that bit about him in the final third, which we need.
He's on the right side of the line then, over 5.
Yeah.
What would your score be?
I'd give him a 6. He's been actually thrown out the deep end, if you look about it. He was there one day and then he was thrown into European.
I actually thought he'd done well.
Exactly.
Yeah. Over in Poland, I thought he'd done well in the first half.
So
he is a good outball.
Again, he'll now he's steadying the ship with him and getting me settled down where he's came from. And also now we're looking at the demands of playing for Glasgow Rangers.
6 from Ian, Barry?
Yep, 6.
6 is all round then. Next one is a wee bit early to perhaps give a full rundown on what he could achieve. Costa Nedeljkovic. We've only seen a wee snapshot of him, but how beneficial will it be for Nedeljkovic to have a countryman from Serbia already at the club? They're great pals and have been since playing together as teenagers and things.
Yep.
I think it'll be hugely beneficial.
I'll help him settle in straight away. No doubt about it. It was interesting that I seen him do an interview and he says that he's been looking at Rangers since April, so obviously he's done a lot of homework. I've not seen, I'll be honest with you, Tom, I've only seen clips online because obviously you're interested.
Come off the bench so late on.
Aye, but you're always interested to see what you're bringing in.
8 appearances for Villa, so
aye, but you see people speak about him. He's highly regarded. Found it difficult to get more game time at Aston Villa, and it's a brilliant opportunity to come to a brilliant club and go and show what he's made of. Another one that's young. I just sometimes think they need a bit of help in terms of when they come into the team. I would like to see a bit more experience in the team to help these younger players and guide them through some games. But what I've seen online I like, but the proof will be in the pudding when we see them play.
We probably can't go much more than 5 at the moment, Ian.
No, again,
it's only a cameo.
10 minutes a cameo, but as I said, he's came with a good reputation. Now, obviously Villa were quite particular who was going to go on loan to, and that's great news. Rangers got him, but again, that'll be another one. I think a lot will depend if he plays with Sterling, who Barry knows really well. Yep. If Sterling stays fit, I think Sterling can play right back. But just keep Sterling fit. But you've got adequate backup, and I'm sure if he's required, he looks a big athletic boy anyway. He looks so he can bomb up and down that line. So only time will tell if he gets his chance to get in the team.
The final one from our signings up until we go to air with this week's podcast is, of course, James Penrice. And interesting, you said some experience. Penrice looks like a teenager, but my goodness, he's got a fair CV behind him. 29.
I know, it's like a kid in a sweet shop. That's the way I'm looking at him. He looks to me if he's absolute loving being at Rangers, and that's what you want to see with players. I seen that in his first game at St Mirren. He was happy, he was getting about the pitch. He just looked as if he was desperate to be there. And again, he's a player that I thought maybe a year or two ago Rangers should have nipped in and got before he went to Athens. Very, very good going forward. I think I would probably say, looking at James Penrice, I would probably say wing back is his ideal position.
Yep.
But listen, he can play left back all day, and I really like him. And I think Romans has got a fight in his hands. I seriously do, because James Penrice, in my opinion, is a very good player.
He's playing on the left, Ian, but reminds me very much of a very capable right back in your era, Gary Stevens.
Yeah.
The way the recovery power, the speed, the desire.
That's what Barry said. He looks so he's came and he goes, well, I'm going to grasp this opportunity, and his debut against St Mirren, excellent, top of the goal the other night there, again steady, without being really spectacular, but again knew his job, defending when he had to defend, and got forward to support as much as he can, and he looks so he's going to he'll be a cracker for us. As I said, plenty of experience, and he's got a wand at left peg bow, an absolute wand. So when we get in a good areas, he'll be putting deliveries into that box, and you better make sure the centre forwards are on the ball, because he'll be pinpoint deliveries.
And desperate to be at Rangers. Did you hear him in his interview?
Yeah.
Desperate.
That's what
I want to hear.
In the press meeting that day, and I was,
He's had to work hard at it.
Yeah.
At Livingston, I remember at Livingston, you seen there was a player in there, but physically I was unsure. But then he went to Hearts and he developed big time when he went to Hearts. Obviously he's went to Athens. I don't know how.
Won the league out there.
Aye, but I don't know if he played every single game.
No,
but
I think he played about 30 games in the season.
I think it's a brilliant piece of business. Getting him in loan, and if he continues what he's done the last couple of games, he's a stick on for to be a permanent signing. Could
he and Romans play in the same side? I remember many years ago, Sasa Papac and Lee Wallace, a game at Perth against St John's McDermott Park, and I said to McCoist at the time, how can you play the two of them? I says, no, who'll play where? He said, well, we'll play Sasha one on. He said, because Waldo will get beyond Papac, because Papac wouldn't get beyond Waldo, and it worked a treat. Do you remember the game?
Yep, Papac just keeps the ball.
Yeah.
He kept the ball for fun, and Big Waldo, as you said, now what an engine he had. And but again, it's...
Could that be replicated with this pair?
But it depends. If he played in a three, I wouldn't really fancy Romans in a three, to be fair. Now centre half, the ball's getting into the box, but if he was to make it solid with Romans and I say it left back and
away from home, certain areas,
one up, that wouldn't be a problem for me. That'd be great. Now that would give you a solid. What it would be, the two of them would be bombing on, because they two like to go, and it'd give you great now in terms of the final third deliveries into the box. But Barry's spot on. If Penrice stays fit, I think Romans will struggle to get back in the team.
We wish two Romans a full speedy recovery and get competition.
Player. You just mentioned the word, Tom. You need competition. That's two very good left backs going to be fighting for our position.
So just marks out of 10. Back to your quota. We didn't give a number.
I'll give him a 6.5, didn't we?
6.5. Sorry, yeah.
And I'll give Penrice a 7 just now.
Barry?
It would be more, but he only played 2 games.
Yeah, the 2 games that I've seen, I'm giving him the same as McYana, 7.5.
Sounds good to me.
But he'll be a 9 soon.
I think you're absolutely right. Well, that's a real good breakdown on our 11 new signings, and I say we'll revisit this and revisit the scores in a few weeks again and see if we can nudge them up a few.
Review that in January.
Normally he gives a wee heads up, man. Just put that right on it.
Well, that's what it's all about, though. That means it's from the heart what you're giving us.
Match call yesterday. We usually know what we're talking about.
I thought about it, then I thought, no, you'll come back with a question when I try and tee it up. Sometimes it's better just to go off the bat.
You're just throw a wee Babe Ruth in there, a wee curveball.
Well done. Well, here's another. This week I noticed it's the birthday of the little general. Dick Advocat will be 79 this week. You sort of passed him in the doorway as he was going and you were going out, Ian. You worked with him, Larry. And he's just back from the World Cup as well. Still managing yet at 79. What's your memories of Dick Advocat?
Only really good memories. I mean, the team he built was a phenomenal team. I'll be honest with you, it was superb. I learnt so much off him. He was a tracksuit manager. He was on. He took all the sessions. Him and obviously
Bert Van Lingen.
Aye, but Dick Advocat took the vast majority of it. He's very hands on. He was really strong. He was quite strict, but I didn't mind that. But also there was a soft side to him. as well. But listen, all he wanted was you go out and you produce the goods. That's all he asked. And if you didn't, then you were left out the team. He was quite ruthless.
I think he had David Murray in his back pocket with the signings he got, didn't he?
Aye, but he was ruthless in terms of, like, if somebody wasn't doing it after 15-20 minutes, he'd just make a change.
Fishing rod.
Yeah, he done it with Fernando Rickson. He done it with Big Oz. So if you weren't pulling your weight, never messed about. Yep. But listen, brilliant coach. He's managed at the highest level, hasn't he? And really, really enjoyed my time under him.
He was a bit of a character, perhaps more of a character Ian than came across from his position the sidelines. You know, I remember speaking to Stuart Dougal, who was a referee at the time, and he said Dick was so difficult on occasion. He said he'd be out remonstrating at the edge of the technical area. He says you'd go and haul him back in when you're a fourth official and say it's okay, it's only for the fans. I mean, and he had that demeanour about him, which with a sense of humour as well.
How he handled now taking after the gaffer, and as Barry said, the team he built, phenomenal. And I used to stay not that far away from him when I was out walking my dog, and sometimes I met him when he was walking his wee dog, and he was a different character. He was a bit more relaxed, and Barry know better now, away from football, very talkative, not a lot of dialogue about football but other things, and he was good. And I used to see him about now and again, but then you see him when you get now, when I was playing with Kamala at time at games, and he always had time to make conversation to see how you're doing. And but that team that Barry played in now, Arthur and Van Bronckhorst, now the team, the players now, Caniggia, Rod Wallace, now all the boys that come in.
How did it feel then when you were in the stripes of Kilmarnock to go and face these guys that had replaced you?
I gave him a doing a couple of times, you know what I mean? first game of the season for Kilmarnock against Rangers. I couldn't get this wee bugger, or I couldn't get near him, honestly. And it was great, but it was hard times there, but it was good because I didn't mind it. I don't, but Barry probably share it. See, when you're coming up against good players, it took now. The boys I was playing with Kilmarnock hadn't played against players at that level before, and I'm saying, well, go and see what you can go and do. And it takes players to another level. And they beat us 3-1, but 3-1 going on 4 or 5. But I found out that day playing with Kilmarnock that some of the boys I was playing with could go to another level. Not the level the Rangers were playing it, but now just to raise their game.
More to give.
And that season now we challenged Rangers up until about January time. Then they went into.
The depth in the squad, of course.
Speed up, it was Kilmarnock were up there, and it was good. And it was, but when you're coming up against them, you know you need to be on your A game. Now the players they had, and you had Big George and Neil McCann and that playing as well. Big, as you say, Big Oz, they quality all over the place. And
Arena, who could run for fun.
He came in later on, but we Dick had to build a team from scratch. Now the amount of players that left, and now to do that one season, that's a phenomenal.
Remember the first game, Shelburne?
Yeah, down at Tranmere.
Aye.
3-0 after 27 minutes.
Yeah.
And I remember coming in, and he had a go at me. The go at everybody. He's like, "You've got 10 minutes to save your career."
Wow.
Rangers' career.
Did Van Bronckhorst come off the bench at half time, or was it JJ come off the bench maybe at half time?
I think they were just coming back from a tournament, weren't they? Yeah.
Aye, and then we were a different team, and then we just kicked off for there.
Well, 79 years young, Dick Advocat this week.
He doesn't seem to be slowing up, so happy birthday, Dick.
Happy birthday, Dick, absolutely. I don't know if it's a true story or not, or a bit of an urban myth, that when he was leaving, he went into the coach's room and was thanking everybody, but he'd called John McGregor Frank from day one. He kept referring to him as Frank. And eventually, on the day he was leaving, John McGregor sort of decided he was going to dig Dick Advocat up for it and said, "No, Gaffer, actually, you've been calling me Frank. My name's John." He says, "Yes, I know it's John." He says, "Too many Johns. You're John, he's John. John Chalmers is John. Too many Johns.
John
so you
Gregg
were Frank."
John
Gregg.
Aye.
He says, "So you were Frank to me." And again, that was a subtle sense of humour.
Just that's the way he was. And as I said now, the job he done for Rangers was phenomenal. He's always well regarded when he comes back.
How many jobs is he?
I wouldn't like to think.
He's been everywhere.
Yeah.
It's between him and Van Halen, isn't it?
Yeah, for the most
probably.
Jobs, yeah.
They've got a job every 3
wouldn't
months.
like to. I wouldn't mind a tickle of his Swiss bank account right now.
Aye.
A few bucks away there. Anyway, let's. We've got Thursday in the Czech Republic to cover off. Do you expect many changes in the side from the one that took the field at Ibrox?
No, I think he'll try and get his. As I say, I think maybe I might bring in another midfielder, make us a bit more solid. But they don't know what they have to do. It's going
at
to be
the expense of one of the wide players, perhaps.
Maybe. I can see somebody would just make that a wee bit more solid, and then maybe get two up front. So it'll be a difficult game, but I've seen enough, and I've not been disrespectful to the Czechoslovakian team, but I've seen enough that hopefully Rangers can get through. It'll be majorly disappointing for us now to go out of Europe so early. So again, they'll know the pitfalls of players, and they've just got to go there now, get that wee run, keep the run going. That'll be 3 in a row, and we'll get a difficult game on Sunday. So just concentrate and get a win or get through on Thursday.
You know there's not going to be any surprises. You know they're going to come flying out the traps, don't they? So you need to be prepared for that.
But we've shown we can be a counter-attacking.
I would go with an extra midfielder in there.
Right. Yeah.
Whether that's
maybe
Nico,
one protecting the back four and one behind the striker.
I liked when the three, when Nico, Dragojevic and Chukwani played together. I liked that trio.
Nico was carrying an ankle injury last week at Ibrox, hence he didn't get game time.
Dan Neil, but I think you've got to go with a solid three midfielders in there. I don't think you can go with like a Asgard where he's more forward thinking. Like
can't give the ball away.
The three midfielders, they all can get forward,
yeah.
but you've got to be more disciplined when you go into Europe.
Okay, that's Europe. We look forward to reviewing, hopefully, a successful night in the Czech Republic when we do it all again on the 5 Star podcast next week. Free weekend, good thing or a bad thing?
I'd have kept playing.
In
hindsight, we spoke about it. I just with the having played him, I know you were given the opportunity. I would have liked to kept playing. I think in hindsight, I think Derek would have as well.
Jablonec had a free weekend as well. They passed up their opportunity to play.
Listen, I totally agree with Durrant. I would have liked to have played.
Yeah. Do you know, of course, how they got into Europe?
You've got 2 wins. I know the game of Thursday night wasn't amazing.
Yeah.
But still a win, a clean sheet. Then you want to carry that on.
Yeah, keep the momentum.
You've still got plenty of rest, Tom. You know what I mean. You've still got 4 days before you play that European tie, and it's so early in the season as well.
I just thought of now having another home game.
Yeah.
Okay. In hindsight, if it's away from home, you go okay then. But with the home game, and it's a team now we beat 5-1 previously. I know they made a decision before that game, but I'd have as a player, I would have preferred playing.
Something else we need to debate next week is, of course, Derek McInnes' touchline ban potentially.
Yep.
He's appealed against the
August the 31st?
3, and then he's got 1 pending thereafter for a future offence. So we should know what's happening with that on Monday. It'll give us something to debate next Tuesday when we put our podcast together again. Touched on the free weekend, which, you know, we should have no injuries of any consequence, let's hope. And then we come back and we're straight into the lion's den of Pittodrie. Ain't going to be easy up there.
No.
Undefeated in 6, apart from the League Cup defeat to Dundee.
Aye, and it's not an easy place to go in with no the script when you go up there. But again, if you play with Rangers, you need to deal with these situations. It's no ideal. 12 o'clock. I think it's a 12 o'clock kicker.
12 o'clock Sunday, yeah.
No get it in earlier, no. But listen, again, when you play at Rangers and you play European games on a Thursday night, you need to go to places like Pittodrie. If you want to go and challenge for trophies, certainly the league, we need to go up there. You always know it's difficult, you always know it's hostile, and I'll be honest with you, I love going up there to play.
Do you know the last time in January Asgard Tav penalty, I think?
So just make sure to take care of Thursday, get a positive result, and go up there and get another positive result against them.
They've had major changes in. We've got 11 new faces as we speak. They've got 13, and that ghost of Jimmy Tillene, the Scandinavian influence, has been blown away.
Yeah, and he's brought in a lot of players, and again they've been doing a lot of tinkering as well. But as you touched on, they're a good start to the season in terms of their home games. I still don't think they're anywhere near what former Aberdeen teams were. But again, it's work in progress, and I can see Rangers just need to go up there and do the business. We know, we all know what lies ahead up there. Now they'll make it difficult as they can. Hostile, the fans, they'll get a full house for once, and that's the nature of the beast. Now we've got to go up there, and as I said, it doesn't help us with early kick-off, but that's what you have to do. As Barry says, when you're playing for Glasgow Rangers, just whoever comes, take it.
He's back to Jablonec. I don't know if you know how they qualified for Europe. Are you aware of the circumstance? They finished 5th in the league, which wouldn't have given them a European place. They lost the Czech Republic Cup final, so were runners-up in their domestic cup. The team who won the cup were done for match fixing and were banned from Europe and demoted a league in Czechia, effectively. And the place in Europe
This goes back up
went to the team who lost the cup final. So they're effectively there by default. Bit of useless
but you're at
information
you
for you.
deserve to get thing in it.
Yes, that's my excuse.
Yeah.
Get them bombed out and let
Exactly.
us get into the league
All room for
proper.
cheats.
First match is 2nd October. I've got it in my diary already. The final, of course, I think is in Austria, so I'd maybe looking a wee bit far ahead at the moment. Talking legends, as we've done tonight already, Paul Gascoigne's up courtesy of 5 Stars this weekend.
Again?
He's in Peterhead
Half your heat.
on Friday.
Are
The
you
fishermen
doing
are going
Peterhead?
daft. No, I think
No, you're
Big
not
Michael's
daft.
doing. I'll do Saturday. He's in the East Kilbride
British Legion.
I know,
so
there's
we'll
a
be
couple of
with
boys
him.
when I'm up there, they said they're going, yeah.
Yeah,
But
Saturday.
he'll be good form. He's been doing a bit lately, so that'll be good. But Peterhead of all places.
Can you give us one story about Gascoigne that would see us not having to go up in front of any former committee for broadcast breach?
I don't think you could.
You couldn't, honestly. That's for after dinner stuff, Paul. Okay, he's just a great boy, great player.
So generous.
Loved his time at the club. And if you ask Paul Gascoigne now, we all know he's a mad Newcastle fan, but if you ask him, what was your favourite time? He says Glasgow Rangers. Now playing, the genius he was. He was a riot, but it was ex-certificate stuff every day with him.
How much did he enjoy getting into the Steps bar?
He loved it because he just loved playing doms and cards.
People just treated him as another one of the
He
boys.
just sat there and then he played doms for a couple of hours, a couple of pints, then he'd go and play cards. Then 5 hours up the road, fish supper, bang, that was him.
Did you find him inspirational, Barry?
He was. I mean, that team is inspirational.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
The amount of top players and big characters. But some of the stuff he used to do with football was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Aye. And
Awesome.
do you know what? So down to earth.
Mhm.
So down to earth. But he's a Geordie. They're similar to us up here, aren't they?
Well, we look forward to having his company with 5 Star this weekend in a couple of locations. Just with 5 Star, look at the sponsors here and give their websites a visit. You never know when you might need some electrical solutions or something very similar. And of course,
the Maverick Spirits.
aye, we wouldn't mind one of them. Aye. Give them a wee talk up, and we shouldn't forget Scotia Security either while we're at it. Absolutely. Now, the VIP side of the website for 5 Stars has lots going on. The YouTube channel has even more. Some wonderful interviews. You've got memorabilia. You've got the gins. So much on the 5 Star website. Get yourself across there and do yourself a favour. We're rapidly running out of time. The 4th official's telling me it's time to be first and last.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. So firsts.
But you're not, what numbers have we used?
I'll tell you what numbers you've used. Just give me 1 sec.
I know we've used bullseye in a 6 and 10 or something.
We're looking for numbers from 1 to 50, and as we chop them off, I mark them off on the page. Numbers already gone. 6, no surprise. Barry chose 6 first off. Ian chose 10 for obvious reasons as well. 12 has gone. 14 has gone. 24 has gone. And if I flip the page,
Bullseye.
top of the shop, bullseye went last week as well. That was the speeding ticket. When you confirmed it was.
It wasn't even a speeding ticket, it was just, give me your car.
I couldn't get away with that. I was driving down the road last week thinking you've gone from the Renault 5 Turbo to
Or
the
the tank.
snowmobile.
No, the tank.
Did you write that off up with the Burleys?
No, I clipped a thing about. No, there was a boy came round and clipped me, but there wasn't a lot of substance to the car, so it looked now. See, if you clip it now, the
Right.
back end just came off. It was more of a.
They were flying machines, man.
Unbelievable.
Them.
Absolutely. Right, here we go. Firsts for the last.
I'll go for
feature
number
of
1.
today. Top of the shop, number 1. Ian Durrant, give us your memories of the first penalty you ever took in senior football.
There's a. You don't believe this. My first goal for Rangers was we played at Stamford Bridge for the Bradford disaster.
Wow.
And
Rooming with Derek Johnson.
there with Derek Johnson, and we get beat 3-2. And I believe it was Eddie Nedweski,
Right.
was a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And Big Jock told me to take a penalty, but Big Jock team talk. He said, I know it's a friendly, but we didn't know obviously we don't play friendlies because there was a good range support going down there. And he said, watch your boy Dixon. and somebody said, I don't worry, he'll be what, 32 seconds he scored after. And then we get back, and it was some Rangers fan support down there, obviously now the expats in London, and it was a great night. Unfortunately, we
Plus
lost.
the affinity between Chelsea and Rangers
Because
fans.
they came up and played a game not so long after that,
Favourite English team.
and that was I get the chance of hitting a penalty and put it away.
Did you think about it, or did you?
I just hit it. I wasn't playing. I just hit it, and I don't know if the keeper knew it just to let me score a goal, but it was just that was my first penalty. Then after
Side foot or laces?
laces, all right through it, bang. It was an end of season game. The surface wasn't great, so I wasn't got up and trying now. Side foot, and I just thought, I'm hitting this, bang. So that was my first one. It just turned 18.
Not bad, Ian Durrant's first
I
penalty.
honestly can't remember.
Seriously?
I'm
You
trying
have
to
few,
think.
don't you?
Aye, but I think one of the first ones would have been when we played PSG.
Right. Yeah.
The Prans. Went into penalties.
For the shootout.
Aye, for the
Correct,
shootout.
yeah.
I think that could have been one of my first team penalties.
No,
And then I
Why was
started-
that? Did you not have the opportunity? Or did
No,
you
there
prefer
was
not to take them?
No, I ended up taking them after that.
Yeah.
Ended up taking it after that. I went a real good run of about 13, 14, 15, and then I
Consecutive.
missed 2 in one game.
Dundee, Dens Park.
Aye.
And then Michael Arteta got the third score.
Aye, we got a third penalty,
Aye.
and the boys are looking at me thinking, I was like, go and do one. I'm not taking a third penalty, no way.
Did you feel like that? Was your
Aye.
equilibrium low?
Well, you missed the first one,
Yeah.
and I'm like, we got a second one. I'm like, well, I'm going up here, need to go and put this in the back of the net. And the goalkeeper, Speroni, remember Speroni?
Went on to
Julian,
Crystal Palace. Big
Aye,
Italian.
that's right. He saved it, and then 2 minutes later we get a third penalty, and I was like, nah,
I know.
I couldn't do it.
Did the boys look to you to do it?
Aye, they were looking at it, and I was like, don't look at me like it's somebody else.
We were playing race one night, and I missed a penalty, and you get a man 2 minutes later, right, and I went to get it again, right, and as soon as came out, shot me in the way and gave me a body coop. Right, coop. I'm like, oh, all right, okay. No, that was me off the penalties for them. 'Cause I had a wee record before that. I was
I
about
never
6 or
hit
7.
another penalty until Fiorentina away, and I was, remember,
You missed that as well, didn't you?
Same for Novo.
Aye, but obviously extra time, we're drawing, and it goes into penalties. I remember Walter and the staff all standing, and nobody was putting their hand up.
What a save it was, by the way.
So nobody
What's
was
the name of
going
the
forward,
keeper?
and I thought, I'll need
To do it. Yeah.
So I goes up and I misses it. Wow.
That was one.
Is it true Walter didn't know the score?
Honestly, I was just going to bring it up. We're on the bench, right? And Novo's got the winning penalty. The gaffer turns to Coisty. What's the score?
This is the semi-final of a European tournament.
Now it's gone. It was now 6-5, and he's like, Coisty, what's the score? He wasn't in a bit greatest to watch as a gaffer watching penalties.
But then I turned around, I remember walking back, and obviously Stafford at the side, and all the boys are lined up halfway line, and all their heads were doing. I'm thinking, I think I've just.
Who was the keeper again? It was some. What a save it was.
Aye,
You smashed
to be
it.
fair, I did smash it a fair digger.
You get a hand on it and push it away.
We were more surprised Hindami got up to hit one.
Aye.
It wasn't a known.
Because we'd never seen Ibrahim kick the ball more than 5 yards.
Yeah.
And Coisey's on the side going like, he can't kick the ball 12 yards. Then Papaj. Now,
Yeah. Iconic picture thereafter.
exactly, but
Celebration.
because we were all looking at each other going, what's Brahim doing?
But that's when you need your teammates to pull you out, then, and the goalkeeper. So
Absolutely. Not sure whatever happened to that Mikel Arteta since that day delivered the penalty kick up
he's
there.
done all right, isn't he?
Done all right. Barry, a number from you, 1 to 50.
16.
16, sweet 16. This is an interesting one. I'm not sure if you remember the first, but Ian will probably tell us about the last. You remember your first pint?
Jesus, man. My first pint. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. It's
Well,
very
change the
disrespectful.
age to protect the innocent.
Eh?
Change the age to protect the innocent.
My first pint was in a snooker club in Hamilton. No far from here.
You enjoy it?
Aye, but I was sick.
Really?
Aye.
Wasn't for you.
And my dad wasn't happy.
Lesson to all youngsters watching the podcast tonight. Don't hit
you
that lager.
you get carried away a wee bit, don't you?
Yeah.
And I won too many, and that was me.
Lesson learned.
Aye, I never had another drink for about a week after that.
set the tone.
Ian, do you remember your first pint?
It was just after the Bradford game at Chelsea, because Big Jock sent me in my bed.
Right.
He said I wasn't allowed to have a drink, so we went back to Brighton after the game and we stayed there. And I was up the room. That's when Big Derek came in about 3 a.m.
The gas machine.
Oh, he had to open the windows up, everything. And it was about 2 weeks later. I was at a do, and I had a shandy, and I quite liked it. So I had a couple with it. and that's it. My first, it wasn't a full pint, it was a shandy I had.
So it's been your go-to refreshment since?
Because it wasn't as, I do like a pint of Tennent's, but it wasn't a Tennent's lager, and it wasn't the best of lagers we were drinking in. I think that the one in the pub was called the Harp lager.
Right.
And it was,
That's big on Belfast.
When you drink Harp, you need a packet of Rennies to go with as well, you know what I mean? And so it was a wee shandy, and the rest is history. It's just
great memories from the boys. If you do like a pint, do it with moderation.
Drink responsibility.
Absolutely. Thanks again for your times. Be the right age. Terrific again, some great chat along the way. Fourth officials gave me the eye saying we're way deep into injury time. Number of games coming up. We've had a run of games at home. Now we are on our travels for a few. Let's stand up and be county and get a run together.
Yep, get a wee run. That's you're spot on. Just get that consistency.
A big Thursday and a big Sunday, and if we come out with 2 wins, be absolutely delighted.
Thanks for your company today on the 5 Star Podcast. We'll do it all again soon.